It's week 2 of the NFL on CBS, and we welcome you to Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California. Today, the Tennessee Titans matched up with the San Diego Chargers. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Well, it's been a heat wave here in San Diego. It's actually cooled off. 84 degrees today. Sunny skies, not a cloud in the sky. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, and the rest of our CBS crew. Chargers 1-0, a 22-14 win over Oakland on Monday night. The Titans 0-1, a 34-13 loss to New England. Tennessee won the toss, and they have deferred to the second half. So Rob Bironas will kick it off to the San Diego Chargers. Titans have lost 8 in a row to San Diego. Their last win have to go back to 1992 when they were the Houston Oilers. A 27-0 victory over the Chargers. We're underway from Southern California. Bironas on the kick. Richard Goodman, the return man for the Chargers. Goodman's got a lane. And Goodman caught just short of the 30-yard line by Jordan Babineau on special teams. Philip Rivers, starting quarterback for the San Diego Chargers, and closing in on 25,000 yards for his career.
And played smart last week against the Raiders. Did not throw an interception, threw one touchdown pass. Took advantage of the Raiders' deep coverage and just dumped the ball off a number of times. Today he'll be playing without his all-pro tight end, Antonio Gates, so that could be a problem for San Diego. Still trying to get on the same page with new receivers, Robert Meacham and Eddie Royal.
Gates out with a rib injury, so Randy McMichael steps in for him. Motion man, McLean, the fullback, shifts to the backfield on first down from the 29. There's long count, first play from scrimmage. Handoff, it's Brinkley up the gut. No Ryan Matthews once again. Matthews expected to return next week for a home game against Atlanta. 3-yard gain. Let's take a look at the starters here for San Diego. Mike Harris, rookie out of UCLA, in for the injured Jared Gaither for the second consecutive week, and he looked good last week in the win over Oakland. Backs and receivers, we told you about Gates, and will be the veteran McMichael, and Brinkley starting for the injured Ryan Matthews, but we'll see a lot of Ronnie Brown as well, and Brown is in there right now. Veteran formerly with Miami and Philadelphia, now in his 8th year in the NFL. On a 2nd and 7, San Diego trying to start 2-0 for the first time since 2006. Rivers under pressure. Incomplete. He threw it in the area of Eddie Royal. Unfortunate that it wasn't picked off. It was a floater as he was hit by Derek Morgan. Let's take a look at the starting defense for Tennessee. Gave up 34 points last week. No Senderick Marks today. Mike Martin gets the start. Cameron Wimbley had 4 sacks in a game against San Diego last year as a member of the Raiders. Will Witherspoon starts at middle linebacker. Colin McCarthy's out with an ankle injury. And in the secondary, Robert Johnson making his 2nd consecutive start at safety, with Griffin shifting over to the free safety spot. 3rd and 7. Out of the gun. Protection holds up on a dump off. Brown has room. Ronnie Brown bangs his way just about at the line that he needed. Jason McCourty with the hit. And it's going to be very, very close for San Diego. It is enough for a first down. They'll move the chains.
Well, that's one of the things that you've noticed throughout the preseason and now 2 games into the regular season. The disparity and sometimes how the ball is marked by the replacement officials. It appeared that Brown was about a half a yard short of the first down, but the official from the far side of the field came in and gave him just enough.
And our referee today is Bruce Hermanson. There is Norv Turner, now in his 6th year as the head coach of the Chargers. Asked him about week 1. He said, look, we liked some things in training camp. Speed, athleticism, game-changing plays. We saw all of them against Oakland. Rivers, deep ball, separation. Malcolm Floyd hauls it in, and a penalty marker thrown.
They're going to get holding on the cornerback on this side. Jason McCourty trying to stay up with Malcolm Floyd there. That'll be a 28-yard gain for the Chargers. Rivers saw the man-to-man against the blitz, and he let it fly to Floyd.
Holding. Defense number 30. That penalty is declined. First down.
You can see the blitz coming. And outside here, you've got man-to-man coverage. Rivers sees it immediately, and there you can see the hold by McCourty as Floyd slipped to the inside and made a good adjustment to catch that ball.
So line of scrimmage is now the 34 of Tennessee. San Diego on the move. First possession of the day. Double tight end set with McMichael and Rosario. Fake the handoff. Rivers out of the pocket. Rivers on the run. Had a man open but could not connect with Meacham. Philip Rivers, who has been extremely accurate throughout his career, was dealing with some heat from Derek Morgan.
Yeah, that's the key for Tennessee, is to get pressure on Rivers. Twice now he's thrown incomplete because of the pressure, and you can see the ball coming up just short to Mitchum.
Yeah, Rivers knew he had him. Philip Rivers, career high 20 interceptions last season, 25 turnovers total, and a huge focus here. Ronnie Brown, Wildcat.
Yeah, that's Spurlock in the tailback position.
And inside, not a whole lot there, so they try to go with a little trickery, and they pick up a yard and a half on the play as Rivers set up as a receiver on the outside.
And Ronnie Brown, obviously the forerunner with the Wildcat, but Spurlock can do it as well. That time they had both Spurlock and Ronnie Brown in the backfield.
Well, Spurlock was a college quarterback at one point at Mississippi, played in the UFL, formerly with Arizona and Tampa Bay, so they can mix and match some pieces here. Yoav Turner, the play caller. Hal Hunter, former offensive line coach, is now officially the offensive coordinator. Flag down, 3rd and 8. Rivers finds the open man working the sideline, Malcolm Floyd, and it's good enough for a first down.
It's going to be a free play, as it looked like Rivers may have been able to draw Cameron Wimbley off sides. He knew he had time to throw in a free play and just waited for Floyd to break loose in the secondary.
Offside. Defense, number 73. That penalty is declined. First down.
Watch Floyd work down the field. First the hook, and then just adjusting his route to the outside as he saw Rivers looking for him all the way.
Yeah, he told us, Philip Rivers, that Malcolm Floyd, when he was originally on the team as a practice squad guy, they just let him run go routes. Basically, that was it. And he's become such a complete wide receiver and so humble in the way he goes about his business. 3 tight end formation here. Curtis Brinkley in the backfield. Another flag. Rivers looking at another potential free play on a dump off, and Brinkley spins his way to the 11-yard line. 7-yard pickup on the catch and run, and right now San Diego is shredding this Tennessee defense.
And the Tennessee defense isn't helping itself by being drawn offside by the hard count of Philip Rivers.
So they're looking at a 2nd and 3 or a 1st and 5 if it works against Tennessee, and that's what the referee is checking on.
And Rivers may have missed.
Triple zone infraction. Defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And Rivers may have missed a potential touchdown to Malcolm Floyd. Watch Floyd here down at the middle here on the right side. He's going to work the middle of the field as Rivers rolls out to the right after the pressure. Watch Floyd break loose in the back of the end zone. I'm sure he'll go back and tell Philip, hey man, I think we had one there. Again, it was a free play for Rivers, so why not take that shot?
Would wide receivers come back and tell you that?
Absolutely.
Every play.
They want that touchdown. They're always open. You know that, Ian.
1st and 5 here for San Diego after the penalty. Handoff. Brinkley, some tough running on the inside. Takes it inside the 10, and a 4-yard gain. Morgan and Witherspoon combined to bring him down. So no Ryan Matthews out once again. Broken collarbone in the preseason opener. He had surgery on August 10th. And Brinkley getting an opportunity here now in his 3rd year out of Syracuse. He's become a contributor for this team.
Yeah, it's good. Running back by committee until Ryan Matthews gets back there. We've seen Ronnie Brown. We'll see a little bit more of Jackie Battle. And don't forget LaRon McClain, the big fullback, who's in there now.
Strong opening drive with Matthews looking from the sideline. 9th play for San Diego on a 2nd and 1 now. Brinkley straight ahead. He's got enough for the first down. 1st and goal for the Chargers. He picks up 2 yards.
Good opening drive for San Diego. That's the 10th play of this drive. They took advantage of a real fine kickoff return by Richard Goodman. Gave him good field position, and everything they've tried so far has been successful.
Well, with San Diego, this is the oldest starting lineup in the NFL. Average age 29 years and 69 days in week 1, but a lot of youth on defense, and that's where they've invested a lot of their time and energy in the draft. Offensively, a bunch of veterans, led by their quarterback, Phillip Rivers, and a 1st and goal here for the Chargers. Fake the handoff. Rivers, end zone, touchdown! No, Malcolm Floyd couldn't secure it, and Floyd can't believe it.
You've got to be able to secure the catch throughout the entire motion of the play, and apparently the ball comes loose after McCourty climbs on the back of Floyd.
Oh boy, it looked like he cradled it.
And we'll take a look from this angle. And the official had a better look at it than our cameras do, so we'll take his word for it. Now the challenge flag. Norv Turner's not going to take his word for it.
And Norv chucked that flag towards the 22-yard line.
Well, sometimes you got to get their attention. These replacement officials aren't used to certain coaches and how they challenge. You see, when the regular officials are there, they just toss it out because the officials are looking for a potential challenge.
Well, Norv was a college quarterback at Oregon.
And he could really hum it, too. I think he's better throwing the flag, though. It doesn't wobble as much as his passes.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, if this is a touchdown call, it's an automatic review, but because it was not called a touchdown, the coach has to take out the red flag and challenge. The sliding
he had
grab.
It to begin with, yeah. Then McCourty with his left hand may have gotten in there. And the ground, of course, it looked like the ball may be loose there. You could see it disappear real quick as Floyd realized that maybe that ball was on the ground.
Boy, everything I saw looked like he was able to cradle it with his right arm, that he did everything you're supposed to do.
And nobody on this team has bigger hands than Malcolm Floyd.
Such a big target, 6'5", 225 pounds. And he's taken on more responsibility with Vincent Jackson now in Tampa Bay. And Norv Turner is still making his case. He's now seen about 3 or 4 replays on the screen here.
Yeah, he should be making his case to the official that's under the hood. That's where the decision's going to come from. Let's check out the view from the official's viewpoint. That is Mark Wetzel, the back judge.
And he is the man who ruled it incomplete. And Floyd can't believe it. He's thinking it's already over. He's already dunked the ball. Floyd had a touchdown catch last week in that win over Oakland. 4 catches, 66 yards. And the issue for the Chargers last week, Dan, the red zone. 5 trips inside of it, had just 1 touchdown. They feel great about this drive. They feel like they finished the drive, something that Norv Turner talked about this week, finishing drives. And here they are still hoping that it turns into points.
Yeah, really, Rivers missed a couple of touchdown tosses against the Raiders. Had one just go a little bit too long to Floyd in the corner of the end zone, and then had Antonio Gates running the back of the end zone and put a little bit too much on it, and Gates couldn't bring it in. And you're noticing how Dante Rosario is taking the place of Gates in a number of formations today, along with Randy McMichael. Chargers also have a rookie tight end, their 4th-round pick, with Darius Green, who they have high hopes for. Very athletic tight end.
So that's the one spot they were looking at as Floyd went down with the ball. And the question is always whether or not he had full control, but it might just be inconclusive, and San Diego's going to have to go and earn it another way.
Yeah, I think that's the key word, inconclusive. He's got his right hand under this ball. I think this is a touchdown, though. You can see his right hand with that big blue glove is underneath the ball. The ball never did hit the ground, I don't think.
They're either looking at a touchdown or a 2nd and goal.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. San Diego will be charged with a timeout.
Maybe they didn't have that blow-up view we just saw.
Yeah, well, we've got technology, as you know, Dan.
Yeah, there's the ball. There's the glove. And there's the incomplete pass.
That's what the official ruling is. Looked like Floyd did everything by the book. Last year, career highs for Floyd. For him, it had been just dealing with injuries, getting him on the field healthy now in his 7th year in the league. So the call on the field stands. It's a 2nd and goal now for San Diego. Rivers. Dump off, and Brinkley caught it in heavy-duty traffic and lost yardage on the play. It's a loss of 4.
Really a great job of reading this by middle linebacker Will Witherspoon. Titans came with the blitz. Witherspoon had man-to-man coverage, and he was there as the ball arrived. Remember, Witherspoon filling in for Colin McCarthy at middle linebacker. Witherspoon, normally an outside linebacker, is replaced by Zach Brown, a rookie.
Now Witherspoon has played all the different linebacker positions for Carolina and St. Louis and Philadelphia through the years. 12th play of the drive. 3rd and goal for San Diego. Rivers out of trouble, throwing. Touchdown! That'll stand. Dante Rosario. Chargers on the board first. Score on their opening drive.
That's Rosario's first catch as a San Diego Charger. He blocked the punt last week against the Raiders, and he just runs a crossing route. The Titans come with just a 3-man rush, and again, there's just nobody covering Rosario as he works to the back of the end zone. Easy catch and a big hit there by Robert Johnson.
Dante Rosario, now in his 6th year in the NFL, out of Oregon, played with Carolina, Miami, Denver. Mike Munchak's team gives up a touchdown on an opening drive of 12 plays, 71 yards. Extra point from Nate Kading. San Diego with a 7-0 lead here in the first. Time for an update. We head to New York and JB.
Baltimore down by 1, 4th and 2 at the 46.
Joe Flacco drops back, a chance to get a first down and keep the ball. He overthrows Ray Rice in the flat. The Eagles win 24-23.
Vic for over 370 yards passing, 1 touchdown. They win it, improved to 2-0. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts.
Wow, what a turn there. JB and Dan Marino, thank you. We'll be checking in with you throughout the day. The Philadelphia Eagles get the win over the Baltimore Ravens, and they come from behind to do it. Another look at the touchdown here, Dan.
5 of 8 on the drive. And how about Rivers running out of the pocket and making the big play? And Rosario hanging on for his quarterback.
Phillip Rivers making the point to the official that the previous touchdown that didn't count should have counted.
Absolutely, in the quarterback's mind, are you kidding?
Phillip Rivers, 37-11 record at home as a starter in the NFL, including 5-0 against Tennessee in his career. So 7-0 lead as Rivers connects with Dante Rosario.
And you wonder now about Munchak's decision to defer the opening kickoff and give this Charger offense the ball. And they go down and score with it.
Nate Kading kick it off. Here's the return man, Darius Reynaud. And nothing there for him as Reynaud will get cut down after the 18-yard run back. So Tennessee will have the football for the first time today. 8:44 to play in this opening quarter. And Jake Locker made his first NFL start last week, a loss to New England. Some questions as to whether or not he would be able to go today because of the left shoulder. He's in there.
Yeah, I asked him if he's going to wear a brace. He said maybe, I'd prefer not to, but he is excited to have Kenny Britt back and look for Britt to get active in the red zone today.
Yeah, a lot going on at the wide receiver position for Tennessee. We'll talk you through that in a moment. Locker on a handoff for Chris Johnson. Johnson takes it up the middle for 2 yards as Franklin makes the tackle for San Diego. So the Tennessee Titans As we know, Dan, in this league, there is so much overreaction after just 1 week, both positive and negative. They lose to the New England Patriots. This is a team that went 9-7 last year, surprised some people, and just trying to get back on track and get some positives out there. They're already in a 7-point hole against San Diego. Locker throwing off his back foot. It's intercepted. Eric Weddle has got it for the Chargers, and an early turnover for the Titans. Forced by Locker.
Yeah, poor decision by Jake Locker as he's forced out of the block, out of the pocket, and just floats this ball, trying to get it over a linebacker's head as Sean Phillips provides the pressure. And Eric Weddle, the All-Pro, with an easy pickoff.
San Diego with a 7-0 lead, and they get the football back. Jake Locker intercepted by Eric Weddle. San Diego with a 7-0 lead over Tennessee. Weddle went to the Pro Bowl last year, a vocal leader on this defense, and he has put San Diego in terrific position here with a 1st and 10 at the Titans 31. Brinkley slipped a bit, lost his footing, regathered, and loses 3 on the play. Let's take a look at the last drive for the Chargers, who mixed it up.
Free play for Rivers. He goes to Floyd for 28 yards and then 13 on the sidelines, and it pays it off with this 11-yard touchdown pass to Dante Rosario. But Rivers looks good handling the pressure so far. Witherspoon did a good job on that screen pass, and Wembley did a good job getting pressure on Rivers but couldn't get to him.
It's a San Diego team that went 8-8 last year, 5-3 though here at Qualcomm. 2nd and 13 for the Chargers after the loss by Brinkley. Working from the gun. Dump off. Brinkley, shake and bake move. And cut down just short of the 25-yard line. That's a 9-yard pass play as Akeem Ayers will get credit for the stop.
That was really a nice job of making the first guy miss by Brinkley. Ayers is a solid tackler in the open field, but that time Brinkley gave him a little shake and bake and cut to the inside to positive gain on that 2nd down.
On that first drive, the Chargers 3 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. They face a 3rd and 5 now against this Tennessee defense.
Hey, yellow, 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 yellow.
On 3rd down, Royal the motion man. Shotgun for Rivers. They handle the rush. Rivers unloads to Royal over the middle. New set of downs for the Chargers. It'll be 1st and goal after the 20-yard hookup.
Royal working out of the slot, and the Chargers very excited about the potential of Royal in the middle. And when Gates is healthy on the other side, kind of a similar situation that the Patriots have with Welker in the slot and Gronkowski as the tight end. Gives a quarterback either side of the field to work.
Eddie Royal got a 3-year, $13.5 million deal, formerly with the Denver Broncos. Crafty veteran, now in his 5th year in the league. Rivers, a hot start for San Diego. 1st and goal for the Chargers. On the ground, Brinkley slicing and picks up a yard to the 5.
That the Chargers have got to be able to run the ball better than they have throughout the preseason, when they averaged 2 yards per carry, worst in the NFL. And then last week, they were just woeful against the Oakland Raiders running the ball. It's a lot of pressure on the passing game, Ian.
They had 32 yards rushing against Oakland, Dan. In fact, San Diego and Tennessee had the fewest rushing yards in the AFC in Week 1.
You can see it for San Diego with Matthews out, but with Chris Johnson still in for the Titans, puzzling.
2nd and goal. Inside handoff. Ronnie Brown can't get to the 2nd wave. And Akeem Ayers leading that charge for Tennessee. Picks up 1 yard. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Mike Martin, also the rookie out of Michigan, in on this play. It looked like it had some promise there.
"21 of the 53 players on the Chargers roster are new to the team this year, including Ronnie Brown." 3rd and goal for the Chargers. They've got a 7-0 lead. 4:28 to go in the 1st quarter. Rivers operating out of the gun. Rivers floats one. Touchdown! Rosario for the 2nd time. Chargers add to their lead here in the first quarter.
Rosario was working against Michael Griffin, and Rivers sees this matchup right here, and watch where he puts the ball. Rosario goes 6'4", the ball up high. Griffin never saw the ball. Beautiful pass. How about Rosario? First 2 catches of his Chargers career, both go for 6 points.
He has never had 2 touchdowns in a game. Dante Rosario, with Antonio Gates sitting this one out with a rib injury. More opportunities for Rosario, and he has helped give San Diego a 14-0 lead. Nate Kading with the point after. Phillip Rivers. It's been picture perfect on offense so far for the Chargers in their home opener. Well, the weather here in San Diego has been hot. The Chargers offense is hot. 5 plays, 27 yards. Rosario, his second touchdown. This one coming off the Weddle interception. And now Nate Kading will kick it off once again to Darius Reynaud. Reynaud slowed down and then buried just across the 10-yard line by Jackie Battle on special teams. Jake Locker back on the field for the Titans offense when we come back.
Well, it's my honor to announce today that no Charger will ever wear number 55 again. Number 55 is officially retired.
Our own Dan Fouts hosting the pregame ceremony. An emotional day here in San Diego. The Chargers officially retiring Junior Seau's number 55. 13 years with the Chargers, 12 Pro Bowls, passed away in early May, and so many memories.
And as important to the San Diego community, an Oceanside High graduate and just a tremendous member of the community in all his charitable events.
On first down, Locker on a give for Chris Johnson, and Johnson, nothing there. Sean Phillips in on that stop for San Diego, and for the future Hall of Famer Junior Seau, played with such heart and emotion, and one of the best players in Chargers history and best defensive players in football history.
Amen.
Number 55 decal on the Chargers helmets. Trying to establish the running game here. Johnson, and this is a much deeper story that we have to get into with Johnson and the Tennessee Titans, and all eyes on whether or not this offensive line can get some push. Johnson can get some room, but it's been a struggle, and it goes back to last year, Dan.
Yeah, you know, he still gained 1,000 yards, but people are used to seeing him break the long runs, and I think that's part of the problem. He expects to break the long runs as well. There's some hesitation. The blocking hasn't been there, and sometimes the quarterback makes the wrong call, or the bench makes the wrong call. So it's a combination of things right now.
3rd and 9 for Tennessee. Locker out of the gun. Rush is coming. Locker flings the ball as he got tripped up from behind. Donald Butler, his former college teammate out of the University of Washington, getting to Locker as we get an NFL Today update. JB and Dan Marino.
Skins and RG3 keeping it going.
All right, Robert Griffin III, 5-yard touchdown run. He cuts back inside from the pistol formation. Washington up 14-3 over St. Louis.
Washington capitalized on the fumble recovery to score early on, and now they're up by 11. Back to Ian and Dan.
Is it officially a phenomenon now with RG3, a big lead in week number 2 after his virtuoso performance in week 1?
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he?
I think that's a good breakdown. Brett Kern the punt. Eddie Royal, return man, will let it bounce out along the sideline, and San Diego will have solid field position once again. Already with a 14-0 lead, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers looking for more against the Titans, the NFL on CBS. Now, if I was a Seagull, I'd consider living here,
Well,
San Diego.
There's a lot of them, you know. They just not this lone Seagull. It's not Jonathan, is it?
Our associate director, I believe it's a relative of Jonathan Seagull's. First down for the San Diego Chargers at their own 42-yard line. Chargers have won the last 8 meetings with Tennessee. That includes the 2007 wild card game between these two teams. Remember last year, Chargers started 4-1, and it was such a switch from all the slow starts under Norv Turner, but then suffered through a 6-game losing streak.
A lot of injuries during that streak, including some hidden injuries to the quarterback, Phillip Rivers.
97 total yards in this first quarter for the Chargers. It's Brinkley. Spin by Brinkley and picks up 2 yards on the carry. Strong start for quarterback Phillip Rivers, the 4-time Pro Bowler.
Well, and what he's doing is converting on third downs. The Chargers perfect in 5 attempts on third downs, and this is really a key, is the ability to find Royal. And then the backup tight end, Dante Rosario, twice now has been able to find the end zone.
When we talked to Rivers, he said it takes so long to get to that season opener. You feel like you're preparing for that game for a month, so it's nice to get back into the routine of things. Rivers goes down. And a loose football. Rivers trying to make a play. And the football was free at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, Rivers was tripped. It looked like it might have been Tyrone Green, the left guard, is coming over to block the defensive end. Witherspoon is going to hit Rivers right in the back.
McMichael to the recovery. Yep.
There's the shot there. It's clearly a fumble. Rivers was not, he was thinking about throwing. He's trying to get it off, but that's a case of the quarterback trying to do too much there. After you fall down like that, your chances of getting up and making a play are pretty much slim and none. Heads up by McMichael to get that recovery.
On third down now for San Diego. Rivers unloads, and a rainbow out of bounds. Flag is thrown right where Rivers was hit. Cameron Wimbley.
And Rivers right in the face of Wimbley afterwards. Wimbley hit Rivers as he let that ball go, and that will draw the flag.
Wimbley had 4 sacks in a game against San Diego last year with the Oakland Raiders.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 99. 15-yard penalty.
Well, it's not 99. I don't believe, unless it was Jarrell Casey. It looked like Wimbley all the way.
Rivers sees the blitz coming, so he's trying to buy extra time. There's Wimbley, 95, and there's the shot. Sometimes these replays officials are just picking numbers out of a hat. Earlier there was a number 73 on defense called against the Titans. That would be tough to do because number 73 plays offense for the Titans. That's Steve Hutchinson.
Yeah, I started racking my brain on that one and I just moved on.
390!
On first down, Brinkley is hit behind the line of scrimmage. Alteron Werner helping in run support. Time for the Fouts Focus.
Now Cameron Wimbley is the Titans' best pass rusher. With 43 career sacks, quick off the ball. He uses his speed to get around the offensive tackle, and then the balance allows him to pursue the quarterback. And when he gets there, the quarterback goes down hard. Just ask Tom Brady of the Patriots. A bloody nose for Sir Thomas.
Yeah, we asked Wimbley about it. He just kind of smiled.
They always do. Very smugly, too, don't they?
Oh, that's a biased opinion.
You bet it is.
2nd and 12, 4 receiver set. Rivers set up the screen. Ronnie Brown's got a blocker. Brown is dragged down just inside the 40-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup. Jason McCourty with a stop as time is trickling away here in the first quarter.
That was a great play by McCourty because Luis Vasquez was coming out on that screen, and he just made like a matador and let the big bull go by and made the tackle on Brown before he could pick up the first down.
End of the first quarter here at Qualcomm, and the San Diego Chargers with a 14-0 lead on the Titans. Will come back after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. 14-0 Chargers leading the Titans. San Diego ran 22 plays in that first quarter to Tennessee's 5. Time of possession, dominant. And the Chargers can add to it. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew here in San Diego. Chargers looking to move to 2-0. Titans trying to avoid an 0-2 start. Rivers on a crossing route. And he has got Green. Ladarius Green stays on his feet. The rookie out of Louisiana Lafayette. 4th round pick, and everybody getting in on the act. That covers 31 yards.
There's a crossing route for Ladarius Green. As he comes across the middle from the left side of the screen, he actually gets a help from Eddie Royal, who picked the linebacker who was guarding Green. So the replacement officials not seeing the illegal pick play there by Eddie Royal, and Ladarius Green with his first catch in the NFL, and he makes it a big one.
And he's a big target, 6'6", 240 pounds. 1st and goal for the Chargers. Brinkley in the backfield. On a handoff, Brinkley. Hard cut by Brinkley, and picks up a yard on the play.
Chargers really, really showing their depth on offense. Rivers now 10 of 13. He's hit 6 different receivers here, and we're just starting the second period.
Locker has thrown 2 passes, one of them picked off.
And one of them underhanded while he was being tackled.
You're right, on a shovel, out of bounds. 2nd and goal now for San Diego, and all Locker can do is watch from the sideline. Brinkley sticks the helmet down and drives forward for a 3-yard gain. Jason McCourty over there defensively for Tennessee.
The last 2 running plays, the Titans have done a good job bringing their corners up with uncontained. McCourty that time. On the previous play was Alteron Werner. And Brinkley really has no place to go but to try to break the tackle and cut inside.
Red zone so far, 2 out of 2 for San Diego. And this is a 3rd and goal now. Chargers are 6 of 6 on 3rd down. From the gun. Rivers in trouble, and he's dumped. Back at the 8-yard line, Mike Martin, the rookie out of Michigan.
Yeah, Martin does a good job of just being tenacious as he drives Jeremy Clary all the way back to the feet of Phillip Rivers and then makes the tackle. Clary, the 6-year veteran from Kansas State, was just overpowered by the rookie, Mike Martin.
3rd round draft pick from the Wolverines. They're very high on what Martin can do at an early point in his career and getting the start for Marks. 26-yard field goal as Nate Kading knocks it through. It's a 17-0 lead for the San Diego Chargers in their home opener. Pitching the shutout. Rosario with a couple of touchdowns. Nate Kading, a 26-yard field goal, and a 17-0 advantage for San Diego. Reynaud, the return man for Tennessee. Up the middle and caught from behind. A penalty marker thrown as Gatchgar made the stop on special teams. 24-yard return. Penalty marker thrown back at the 8-yard line. Bruce Hermanson.
Eagle block in the back on the return team. After this hits to the goal, 1st down.
Now there is absolutely nothing going right here for Tennessee in this first half. They trail 17-0, trying to get something going on offense when we come back. San Diego with a 17-0 lead. We welcome you back to the broadcast booth. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. This is very similar for Tennessee compared to last week where they were taken out of their game plan. New England took the early lead and then the Titans were playing catch-up.
And the pressure now will be on Jake Locker because they're going to have to throw the ball to get back in it. That will make Chris Johnson even more frustrated. 3 carries so far for just 3 yards.
And Tennessee deep in its own territory with Locker throwing out of the end zone. Able to get rid of it to Johnson out in space. Johnson accelerates for a 1st down across the 15-yard line. It's a 12-yard pickup. Quentin Jammer with a tackle.
This shows you the competitiveness of Jake Locker. Watch the pressure in his own end zone. Quickly knows where his outlet is, and it's a good outlet in Chris Johnson. Locker standing tough in the pocket. Quickly gets it out before he gets smashed.
And news came down that Chris Johnson's great-grandmother, Gertha Pruitt, passed away at the age of 100. Johnson in action today with the Tennessee Titans. Flags come down. So Tennessee gets a positive gain on first down. And are they going to be retreating here with the penalty?
Illegal snap. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So back it up on the illegal snap. An action-packed season of Big Brother is coming down to the wire. Only 2 episodes remain before a winner is crowned. Finale week starts tonight, only CBS. 4 penalties costing Tennessee 29 yards. San Diego has yet to have a penalty called against them. 1st and 15. Play fake. Locker steps up, throws. High throw. Kendall Wright was the second receiver that was in the area.
Yeah, you called that exactly right. He overthrew the tight end, Jared Cook. And Wright down along the sidelines almost came up with a catch.
What have you noticed from Locker now? He's got 1 start under his belt. We haven't seen a whole lot of him so far today, but the little that you've seen of Locker, what stands out about the young QB?
I think he has all the tools. I think it just needs experience, as all young quarterbacks do. He's got a great arm. I love his heart, and his athletic ability is off the charts.
Matt Hasselbeck has been a big help to him. Trying to set up right on the outside, and it's ruled incomplete. Kendall Wright, the rookie wide receiver out of Baylor, who was RG3's favorite target in college, had 108 catches for 1,663 yards and 14 touchdowns last season. But Tennessee is just not getting anything going on offense.
They're trying to go after the 11-year veteran Quentin Jammer on the outside. Jammer playing with a broken right thumb, had surgery this week. He read that little slip screen immediately and kept Wright from making the catch.
Norv Turner told us last week, Quentin Jammer, that was as good a game as he's played in 5 years, and he did it with a broken thumb in the second half. 3rd and 15. Locker forced to throw it away. They get some pressure on him, and the San Diego defense is clicking, pinning their ears back. Sean Phillips and Melvin Ingram, very talented rookie out of South Carolina, the number 18 pick overall, wreaking some havoc.
Yeah, that's John Pagano, new defensive coordinator's MO so far this season. 3rd down, he's going to come after the quarterback. He likes the rotation of his 5 outside linebackers: Ingram, Jarrett Johnson, Antoine Barnes, Larry English, and Sean Phillips. Phillips has been especially active. He was the first linebacker in on Locker that time.
Hasselbeck, the starter last year at that spot. Locker won the job in the preseason. Hasselbeck threw for nearly 3,600 yards and 18 touchdowns last year. Kern the punt. Eddie Royal backpedals to get it. And Royal quickly met there. Forced out of bounds just across the 25 by Tommy Campbell. 17-0. San Diego in front. Now they're calling it a white-hot Sunday here in San Diego. The home opener for the Chargers. 17-0 lead over Tennessee. All part of the learning experience for Jake Locker, but learning on the job and trying to win football games. Dante Rosario, a right calf injury. His return is questionable for the Chargers. He's got a couple of touchdowns here today. Rivers, a flip for Randy McMichael. So no Antonio Gates, and yet the tight ends are flourishing against the Tennessee defense. That one covers 13 yards as McMichael angles out of bounds.
Yeah, a little throwback to the tight end off the play action for the Chargers. Yeah, with Rosario in the locker room, we're going to see more of the tight end, Ladarius Green. Titans have already seen enough of him. He went for 31 yards on his only reception. 8 straight completions now for Phillip Rivers, as the Titans having trouble getting to Rivers as Norv Turner's moving the pocket, that time on the rollout.
Chargers have 145 yards of offense in this first half. Tennessee has 15. New set of downs for the Chargers. Rivers straight back. Rivers. High throw over the head of Green. Incomplete, and a penalty marker thrown at the 36-yard line. Zach Brown, the rookie North Carolina linebacker, was matched up with the tight end Green. And Bruce Hermanson, who worked that Arizona-Seattle game last week.
Offense number 81. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
And it's going to work against McMichael in San Diego. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report.
Hey, the first mistake for San Diego this afternoon with the holding call. First penalty against the Chargers.
Last week had 9 penalties against Oakland for 78 yards.
That's normal when you play the Raiders, though, isn't it? You got to try to match them in all their penalties.
I think that's coming from experience, Dan? A little bit?
About 30 games worth.
Dante Rosario back on the San Diego sideline. Nice cut upfield. Curtis Brinkley loops his way for a 12-yard gain. Good block by Tyrone Green. And he takes it across the 40-yard line. Some early game headlines in Week 2. Eli Manning. Wow. 510 yards in that win. Reggie Bush puts up big numbers against Oakland. Kevin Cobb gets the win for Arizona over New England. And Cam Newton, the bounce back for Carolina. New Orleans is 0-2.
And 0-2 is not good. Only 12% of the teams that start a season 0-2 make it to the playoffs.
Are you doing math again? That's unbelievable. You just have these numbers at your fingertips.
On my tip of my tongue, too.
Shotgun. And Eddie Royal is buried in a penalty marker.
Another mistake for San Diego. It's Clary and Rosario who's back in the lineup. We're out in front trying to block for this slip screen.
Zach Brown in on that stop, getting an opportunity because of the injury to Colin McCarthy.
Holding. Offense number 88.
Now they could decline it here.
That penalty is declined. Third down.
So that was the choice, either a 3rd and 10 or a 2nd and 18. Tennessee elects the 3rd and 10. Watch Fantasy Football Today to get game time player news, inactive updates to help set your lineup, and chat with our experts live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network and at cbssports.com/live.
You were awesome this morning on that show.
You watched?
I did.
Oh, you are so dedicated to the team. 3rd and 10. Shotgun for Rivers. Set it up for Ronnie Brown, and he'll come up short. He got stamped by Witherspoon. Needed 10, got 9. San Diego will punt with Mike Cyphris.
So it's a good decision to decline that penalty and bring up a 3rd down. The Chargers have failed to convert their last 2 third downs. They did convert the field goal last possession, but now Cyphris comes out. That was a stamping, though, by Witherspoon. Whew.
Mike Cyphris, he's been one of the best punters in the NFL throughout his career, now in his 10th year in the league. Reynaud. Fair catch, not taking any chances. And Tennessee's going to have it at the 14-yard line, trailing 17-0 here in the second quarter. 43rd all-time meeting between the Chargers and the Titans. San Diego leads the series with a record of 25-16-1. And it's been all San Diego so far. Matt Hasselbeck in a backup quarterback role behind Jake Locker. Chargers with a 17-0 lead over the Titans. Jake Locker telling us this opportunity, he visualized this his whole life, dreamed of playing quarterback in the NFL. Actually thought of himself more as a running back as a kid. He loved Terrell Davis and Bo Jackson growing up. Locker throws, and he connects with Jared Cook. Cook driven down by Donald Butler.
Just the second completion of the afternoon out of 7 throws for Locker because of the pressure by the Chargers. That led to an interception there. And then pressure this time by Donald Butler, his Washington teammate up in Seattle. That was his only completion up to that last point. Swing pass to Chris Johnson. A lot of hits on a guy with a bad shoulder.
Kenny Britt coming back from injury, trying to get him involved. And Jared Cook, the intended receiver there. Britt hasn't played since week 3 of last year. Kenny Britt, knee injuries, 1-game suspension last week, an off-season DUI, but worked out with former Titans Neil O'Donnell and Derek Mason and Nick Harper last week, trying to get himself into game shape. Mike Munchak telling us They've used Britt between 15 and 25 plays, mostly on third down, red zone, which they haven't even sniffed yet in this first half. Nate Washington isn't 100%. Suffered a leg contusion last week. 3rd and 6 now for Locker and the Titans, and a flag down. Play clock was down to 0-0.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Michael Roos called on the penalty.
Boy, this is just snowballing on a very hot day here in San Diego against Mike Munchak's Titans. Mistake after mistake, and now a 3rd and long for Jake Locker. 0 for 2, converting 3rd downs for the Titans so far.
Working out of the gun. Here comes the rush. Locker steps up, can make plays with his feet, and there he goes. Locker's got a 1st down, and he knows how to slide that baseball background.
Yeah, they're going to get Vaughn Martin for a late hit on Locker as he slid feet first. Quarterback does that, you cannot hit him. So this big gain by Locker will add 15 to it. This will turn out to be a 35-yard play.
Matt Hasselbeck encouraging on the sideline. Jake Locker, drafted by the Anaheim Angels.
Personal foul. Defense number 92. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
And it is the 4th-year defensive end Vaughn Martin called on the penalty.
And Mike Munchak, because of Locker's baseball background, he knows he has the natural instinct to do that, to slide. There's a hit by Martin and a couple other charges. Look like Sean Phillips got a free shot in on the quarterback as well. Best field position so far in this first half for Tennessee.
Now, Munchak, who was coaching when Steve McNair was the quarterback, said that McNair would often take on linebackers. He was big, obviously, but also because Munchak said he didn't really know how to slide. On a quick out, Damian Williams breaks a tackle, and it's a 1st down into San Diego territory. A 16-yard gain. Antoine Cason missed him initially. And Tennessee finally has something working here on offense with 6:42 to go, first half.
And they're going right to the line of scrimmage, keeping the Chargers from substituting fresh personnel on defense. That was a fine throw and catch for the Titans that time.
Spread formation for Locker and the Titans. And a handoff. Chris Johnson snakes his way up the middle across the 30-yard line, hit by Atari Bigby, one of the pickups by the San Diego Chargers as a free agent. 6.5-yard gain. First play in San Diego territory in this first half, and the Chargers have lived on Tennessee's end of the field. We'll call it a 2nd and 3 now for the Titans. Locker, quick throw. Washington hauls it in. Washington dangerous after the catch. A stiff arm out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Quentin Jammer was on the receiving end of that stiff arm. A 16-yard gain. Locker to Washington.
The 20-yard run by Locker, then the 15-yard penalty, and then three really crisply run plays by the Titans has shifted the momentum to Tennessee right now.
First down for the Titans. They trail 17-0. Locker from the gun. Low throw. It's incomplete. Kenny Britt lost his helmet in the process. You know, Britt told us that when he went out to practice on Wednesday, he could not stop thinking about the knee and how it was going to hold up. And finally, by Thursday, he got back into the routine of it.
He's going to come in just outside of Cook here on the hook route. And the ball thrown poorly by Locker. But a lot of adjustments for Kenny Britt. Normally a split end, having to play in the slot a little bit more. And with the injury to Nate Washington, although Washington's playing, Britt had to play some of his position in the practice this week.
They like to call it the Z and the X. Britt is used to the X. Locker, another low throw. He bounced it to Chris Johnson over the middle.
And that all goes back to the learning process of how to play the game. Jake is a little bit tightly wound, I would say, at times. I mean, I think it's natural in his personality. He's got to know how to relax on a throw when you've got a guy wide open. That time he just really held on to the ball too long and fired it into the ground, but that will come with experience, how to throw that pass.
He's got a lot of family here. He's from Washington, West Coast game. His wife Lauren's grandparents, aunts and uncles live here in San Diego. 3rd and 10. Locker in a tight window. Damian Williams, and catches at the 5-yard line, so it's a 6-yard gain.
Second catch of the afternoon for Williams is a fine throw here under really tight coverage. Kaysen all over the back of Williams, but Williams able to hang on.
And it's 4th down for Tennessee. They're going to have to settle for a field goal attempt with Rob Baronis. 23-yard attempt. Baronis has made 17 consecutive field goals going back to last season. Kern will hold it. And the Titans have their first points of the day. It's 17-3. San Diego. 4:42 remaining. First half. San Diego Chargers with the lead over Tennessee, 17-3. 4:42 remaining in this second quarter from Qualcomm Stadium. Rob Baronis will kick it off after the field goal. Richard Goodman is the deep man for the Chargers. Tennessee held to 13 points in the loss to New England last week. Goodman's going to take this one 6 yards deep out of the end zone. Goodman. Oh, the hole opened up, and Goodman lost his footing as he crossed the 30-yard line. Brought down at the 31. The Facts of Life star, the baseball MVP, and 3 wounded castaways back for a second chance. Survivor season premiere. It's Wednesday only. CBS.
Yeah, Goodman got tackled by the 30-yard line. He had just himself and Rob Baronis left before he got into the end zone.
No?
It's running too fast.
No, Nick? 92, okay.
You ever have that problem?
Hey, Kansas.
Not lately.
55.
Phillip Rivers, 13 of 16, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, 10 straight completions for Rivers. Low throw. Meacham tried to get his arms underneath it, but it's ruled incomplete. Meacham signed as a free agent from New Orleans. We talked to Norv Turner about Meacham. He said his straight line speed is just incredible. He's had some issues with a knee, drained a couple of times in training camp, but he's tough, and he refuses to miss practice, making a good impression on his new team.
And last week against the Raiders, he went after a ball and really tracked it down well, 46 yards on the gain, and Rivers said that was huge, so they could finally do it in a game and not just in practice.
Had 2 catches covering 49 yards last week in the win over Oakland. 2nd and 10 now for San Diego. Rivers, sideline throw, battles for it, incomplete. Robert Meacham and Alteron Werner, and it's the defensive back who holds up on that one-on-one matchup.
I'm not sure this was a good decision by Rivers. Saw the man-to-man coverage, but this coverage was absolutely perfect by Werner. And it turned out that Meacham has to play defensive back there. Watch him push Werner away from the ball to make sure it's not picked off. Robert Johnson a little late coming over.
Cortland Finnegan now in St. Louis, so Werner named the starter. Now in his 3rd year at a UCLA, nickelback the last couple of years. Quick, good player, 5'10", 187 pounds. On 3rd down, Rivers off his back foot, upstairs, picked off. Alteron Werner comes up with the interception. Malcolm Floyd, the intended target, and a jump ball situation. It's Werner coming down with the football, and a penalty marker is thrown.
I think the penalty is after the interception on the return, but another poor decision by Rivers under pressure, putting it up for Malcolm Floyd. It's his first interception of the season after throwing 20 last year.
After the interception, we have holding on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Took a while for Rivers to recognize the blitz and then to just loft it here down the field to Floyd, who's covered well by Werner and Johnson. Johnson had the first shot at it and really should have picked that one off. There's the holding penalty on Michael Griffin, and that'll back up the Titans, but another ill-advised throw by Rivers.
An opportunity here for Tennessee. 4:13 to go in the second quarter. Now trailing 17-3. They get the football back. And Alteron Werner out of Carson, California with the pick. Working out of the gun, Locker. Locker steps up, rifles to the sideline. Catch is made by the rookie Kendall Wright. And he's down right there after the 9-yard pickup.
That's what Locker does so well. He's such a smooth athlete with great speed. But when he breaks the pocket, it freezes the defense and opens up some of his receivers.
He got injured last week when tackling New England safety Patrick Chung at the end of a 49-yard fumble return that should not have been a fumble. Handoff. Johnson brought down by Butler. Donald Butler comes firing through and showing off the speed on the inside. Let's go back to last week, and here's the play against New England.
Yeah, clearly a fine tackle by Locker. I think he's trying to do too much on that tackle, trying to really drive Chung into the ground. But as you said, that was an incomplete pass. It was never a fumble. Should never have been returned. Locker should never have been hurt.
3rd and 1. Here they come on the rush. Locker gets rid of it. One-on-one. Hauled in by Wright. Out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Quentin Jammer using the angle on the sideline. On 3rd and 1, they go for the long ball.
Yeah, it was a safety blitz, and that's where Locker decides to go against the veteran Quentin Jammer. And that's perfect coverage by Jammer. Wright has nowhere to go once he comes down, but out of bounds.
So a wasted chance here for Tennessee now on 4th down with 3:02 to play.
They didn't even take much time off the clock either with that possession.
Michael Spurlock is the deep man standing at his own 20-yard line. Brett Kern to punt it for Tennessee. Rush coming. High punt from Kern. Fair catch for Spurlock. 49-yard punt for Kern. Wednesday in primetime. JB, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms bring their unique view of America's Sunday pastime that you won't find anywhere else. It's inside the NFL. It's Wednesday on Showtime. San Diego Chargers with a 17-3 lead over the Tennessee Titans. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew, producer Steve Shear, director Suzanne Smith. Jake Locker, 6 of 15 for 65 yards, an interception. Neither team has established the run here. They didn't do it in week 1. They're not doing it here in week 2.
Block 80! Block!
Here's Brinkley. Nothing there up the middle. A 1-yard gain. Akeem Ayers got him down low for Tennessee.
Chargers have 2 timeouts to work with. And the 2-minute warning coming up as well.
One of those timeouts used, 17-3 Chargers. It was Tennessee that just used a timeout. Stopped the clock with 2:47 remaining in this first half. San Diego with a 2nd and 9 now. Deep in Chargers territory. From the 14. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Empty backfield here for Rivers working out of the gun. Rivers. The sidearm throw to Randy McMichael, who's banged down short of the 20 by Werner, who's been everywhere. 5-yard gain. Werner helping out in run support today. He's done an excellent job in pass coverage, then taking on the tight end as McMichael was looking for the first down.
And again, Tennessee hoping to get the ball back with good field position. We'll call a timeout. McMichael did a nice job before he released on that route of chipping on Wembley to give Rivers a little bit of extra time to throw to help out the rookie tackle, Mike Harris.
So San Diego will face a 3rd and 4 after this timeout. Saturday on the Home Depot SEC on CBS, the Missouri Tigers battle Marcus Lattimore and the Gamecocks of South Carolina. It all begins with College Football Today, Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern on CBS. Chris Johnson, 5 carries, 10 yards, 1 catch for 12 yards. Last week, Johnson 11 carries, 4 yards. He had 6 catches for 47 yards. And the question, is this a slump or is it something bigger for Johnson? The sack. Phillip Rivers goes down, and Derek Morgan leading the brigade for Tennessee.
Yeah, Morgan with a really good job of spinning back to the inside against Jeremy Clary. Clary's having a rough day. He's given up pressure, and now he gives up this sack left side of the screen. Number 91 comes in there. Rivers tries to step up into the pocket. Good use of the timeouts for Tennessee. They'll get good field position with a lot of time to work with, and the 2-minute warning.
Morgan, the number 16 pick in the 2010 draft, and he's got star potential at that defensive end spot. Torn ACL in his rookie year, but a gritty player out of Georgia Tech. 4th down now. Mike Cyphers to punt it. Darius Reynaud moves forward from the 34. Reynaud takes the sideline into San Diego territory, and a flag thrown from behind as Reynaud got hit down at the 41. Mike Wint, the snapper, making the play. A 26-yard return after the 52-yard punt.
Maybe an illegal block against Jason McCourty on that return. Negates a fine return by Reynaud.
During the return, holding. On the return team, number 30, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So Danny we're all over it with McCourty. Rosario, his helmet was off, and as the Titans players and Chargers players were lined up along the sideline, exchanged some words.
Good job getting up the field by Reynaud, but there's the holding penalty right there. Could have shared that penalty.
And Rosario got hit hard as well after that first penalty was called. On 1st down now for Tennessee. Back it up to the 40-yard line. 2:16 to play in his first half. Quick toss. Williams running inside, now cutting the perimeter, and speeds his way out of bounds just across the 45 for a 5-yard pickup. Stops the clock with 2:10 to go.
Chargers with 6 defensive backs in the game right now.
Tennessee, no timeouts remaining. They do have the 2-minute warning here coming up. Johnson in the backfield. Locker on a 2nd and 5, a 4-receiver set. Locker throws to a spot, incomplete. Damian Williams, the intended receiver. And we hit the 2-minute warning with 1:58 to go in this first half. San Diego holding on to a 17-3 lead on Tennessee.
No, I'm fine. Can we do this again tomorrow?
Anytime.
I miss having my own room.
What do you think?
That's a little better.
A little better?
Yeah. This is my boyfriend, Jamie. I don't feel at home here. I feel homesick. Love you. Don't stay up too late, okay?
Hi, alligator.
See you later, alligator. In a wild crocodile.
In a wild crocodile. And I remember that.
Aaron, you're all set.
Great, thanks.
Mike, thanks for doing that discount double check. You saved us hundreds.
What was that?
The discount double check? It's when we comb through your policies to make sure that you're getting all the discounts you deserve.
No, I get that part, but you guys are doing my move.
The discount double check move?
It's my touchdown dance.
So you're a dancer?
No, I'm a quarterback.
Oh, quarterback.
Whoa.
I'm a robot.
Where's your
Get out of here.
Aaron Rodgers got his. How about you?
Rodgers! Discount double check!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Even Peyton Manning can't pass on today's special offer from Papa John's. Peyton Manning made his Denver debut last week and reached a historic milestone. After faking a handoff to Willis McGahee, he threw to receiver Demaryius Thomas, who took it 71 yards for Manning's 400th career touchdown pass. Your next pizza's on Papa with any $10 order at papajohns.com.
How much free pizza can I give away?
Tell you what, we're going to find out.
September 24th. For the first time ever, meet the man who brought Max and Caroline together.
It's really important to me that you meet my father. Well, you never met my father, and you don't see me dragging you to every railroad boxcar in the country trying to find him.
It's a season premiere shocker. Two Broke Girls at its new time. CBS Monday, September 24th.
Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher. Latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Minute 58 to play in this second quarter. San Diego with a 17-3 lead on Tennessee. Titans have now hit 100 total yards of offense. They face a 3rd and 5. Rush coming. Locker steps up, throws, tip ball, intercepted. Atari Bigby, but he dropped the ball.
That's 2 weeks in a row that Bigby's had his hands on an interception.
Donald Butler got a piece of it.
Yeah, Donald Butler just playing center field here. 56 comes over. He had a good shot at it. Then Bigby gets the ball stripped out by Cook. Heads up play by Cook.
And nobody on the San Diego team knows Locker better than Butler. Very close friends at the University of Washington. Butler has played in Jake Locker's charity softball event. Kern got hit. Spurlock, the return man. And this one will reach the end zone and come back to the 20.
Boy, Melvin Ingram stopped. He could have blocked that punt, and then he runs into the punter. There's no penalty on the play. Kern goes down. Oh, where are the regular officials? This is a horrible non-call. Watch Ingram come free. Number 54 right up the middle. He could have blocked this ball, but he stops. And now Kern is in the air. He knocks Kern down. No flag. San Diego ball. There's no excuse for not calling this. That's roughing the punter. Off the ground, hit his leg, and Kern goes down. No flag. Unbelievable.
So San Diego will have the football at the 20-yard line. Contact with Kern appears to be okay, and the Chargers have a minute 43 to work with in this first half. 2 timeouts. Ronnie Brown in the backfield. Rivers over the middle, broken up, looking for McMichael. So Akeem Ayers getting down low to help make that play for Tennessee. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Ayers with really great coverage on McMichael. As McMichael trying to run a little wheel route there. The ball was thrown low, but Ayers was right there to knock it away. Titans defense has really turned things around here. San Diego's been unable to move after getting that field goal earlier in the first half.
Yeah, no doubt. They've steadied the ship after back-to-back touchdowns. Rivers to Rosario. 2nd and 10. Up the middle for Brown, and Derek Morgan there to meet him. A 3-yard gain. So no Ryan Matthews here once again in week 2. He missed week 1, that preseason injury, the clavicle. And Matthews with that broken collarbone. They expect him to be back next week for the home game against Atlanta.
Yeah, that would be 7 weeks from the injury, and that's just about right in the time frame. But what worries me is that running backs get hit in the shoulders all the time, and they have to be very careful with Ryan Matthews.
Matthews missed a couple of games last year, played in 14 games, went to the Pro Bowl with just under 1,100 yards rushing. Rivers gets rid of it. Wide open over the middle. It's Floyd, and a penalty marker down as Floyd catches at the 40.
Penalty back in the backfield. You might see a holding penalty here.
Holding. Offense number 79. 10-yard penalty. Go 3rd down.
Well, it's the rookie Mike Harris. It's been a pretty good sign that we haven't really said his name here today, starting at left tackle.
Yeah, here he is right here. And this has got to be Wembley, number 95. And Wembley, that's what we showed you on the focus earlier. Wembley's ability to dip around the tackle, keep his balance, and put pressure on the quarterback. That's a great play by Wembley.
And it's a tall order for Harris, who got the nod last week and played well against Oakland. Jared Gaither out with a back injury, signed to a big contract during the offseason. And Gaither has not been able to stay healthy. So back it up, 3rd and 17 with 54 seconds left. They'll go conservative here with Ronnie Brown. And Brown is cut down after the gain of 2. Morgan combining with Babineau. So a lot of offense early for San Diego. They've gone quiet in this second quarter, and some of that momentum, although it hasn't really shown up on the scoreboard, has gone Tennessee's way.
And sometimes it just is too easy to begin a game, and it was that way for San Diego. They got great field position, got the interception by Weddle. They converted a couple of touchdown passes to Rosario, but since the field goal, it's been Tennessee's defense that has controlled this ball game.
Play clock is down to 1, and they will call a timeout. 17-3, Chargers in front. Only 8 seconds remain in this first half. San Diego with a 4th down here, leading Tennessee 17-3. So they'll punt it away, forced to punt. Still too much time on the clock. Mike Cyphers with Darius Reynaud back. Booming kick for Cyphers. Reynaud goes back to the 24 to get it. Reynaud thrown down just across the 35, and that's how this first half will end, with Darryl Stuckey making the play on special teams. 62-yard punt. End of the first half. San Diego with a 17-3 lead on the Titans. Verizon Halftime Report is coming up after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. And getting set for second half action here in San Diego. 17-3, the Chargers leading the Titans. Welcome back, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. It came so easy to the Chargers early in this game. He made the point late in the second quarter, but then offensively couldn't rediscover that rhythm in the second quarter. Tennessee able to get something going a bit and cut into the lead at least with that field goal.
Yeah, I think the defense of the Titans obviously stepped up there in that second quarter. Chargers not able to run the ball at all. The Titans not able to run the ball at all. So it's going to be back on the quarterbacks. Rivers started hot, then cooled off, and just the opposite for Locker. He started cold and got some things going for the Titans. The Titans do get the ball to start the second half, though.
DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. It's going to be Rivers to Rosario. They hooked up twice in the first quarter. This is the second of the touchdowns.
Yeah, taking advantage of the 6'4" Rosario over Michael Griffin in the back of the end zone. So Rivers found Rosario. Rosario's first 2 catches as the San Diego Chargers have resulted in touchdowns.
Tennessee will have the football to open up this third quarter. Jake Locker in that first half, 7 of 18, 70 yards and an interception. Locker given the starting job in preseason over veteran Matt Hasselbeck. Locker taken in the first round in the 2011 draft out of Washington, the number 8 pick overall. On the kickoff and working the sidelines along the return for Lavelle Hawkins, and forced down. Tennessee opens up with a 1st and 10 as we check out the first half numbers. San Diego and Tennessee, neither team able to run the football, but Rivers got off to the quick start. 169 total yards. Time of possession, all San Diego.
Well, that's because of the third down conversion problems for Tennessee in that first half. Only able to convert 1 out of 6, so that kills your drives and your time of possession.
Titans at their own 29-yard line to start this third quarter. Chris Johnson in that first half, 5 carries, 10 yards. Locker to throw on first down, pumps. Locker out of the pocket, and Locker veers out of bounds for a gain of 1. Didn't see anything he liked down the field, so tuck and run for a yard.
Heads up by Locker. He had about 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket, and then he's got that ability to extend the play as he was running out of the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field looking for a receiver, but the Chargers had coverage on that side of the field and no place for Locker to throw it.
This is a series that dates back to the AFL days, 1960, when they were the LA Chargers and the Houston Oilers. 8 straight wins for San Diego in this matchup. Handoff. Johnson on the cut. Johnson, modest yards, maybe a gain of 1 to Keo Spikes, the tackle.
Well, it's been a frustrating first half for Chris Johnson. 5 carries, just 10 yards. Chargers doing a good job with penetration and then looking for the cutback that CJ's so famous for, looking for that home run.
Now, back in 2009, when he went over 2,000 yards, of course, he had the big plays, but I think back to those days, Dan, he was breaking tackles. And that's just not something we've seen a whole lot of last year and now game 2 of the 2012 season. 3rd and 8 for Tennessee. Working from the gun, Locker. Johnson handles it on the low throw, but he has no room to work with. Tried to spin and no gain. Sean Phillips got in the grill of Jake Locker and forced him into a bad toss.
Yeah, the Chargers defensive coordinator John Pagano that time deciding to play coverage, and on a 3rd and about 9 or so, it was difficult for Locker to have any of his receivers uncovered. That was a good catch by Johnson out in the flat to get what he could.
Brett Kern back on to punt it on 4th down. Michael Spurlock, he is waiting for it at the 27-yard line. Spurlock backpedals. Kern angles it towards the far sideline, and they're going to mark this one off. Appears to be at the 16. That's where San Diego will open up. San Diego got off to a scorching start. Touchdowns on their first 2 possessions, then a field goal, and since that point, punt, interception, punt, punt. And San Diego's first possession of this second half, 1st and 10, at its own 16-yard line. Bootleg, Rivers. Good timing with Floyd. Out across the 25, Alteron Werner, the coverage, and a 10-yard gain. They'll move the chains.
How about that arm strength by Rivers? Running away from the line of scrimmage, being chased by Derek Morgan, still having enough on it to get the ball down the field to Floyd for a first down. That's really important for San Diego. You saw the graphic we just showed. They hadn't had any first downs in their last 4 possessions.
Spreading it around, 4 receptions for wide receivers. The tight ends have played a big role. Running backs coming out of the backfield as well. No running game to speak of, but they've made up for it. Rivers, rush coming, loses the football, and covered up quickly. And was the play whistled down? Randy McMichael gets up to run. And injury on the play. Zach Brown is now limping off for Tennessee as he got the shot in on Rivers.
Yeah, not sure we ever heard a whistle here. Here's Brown coming quickly. Rivers just dropped the ball trying to get rid of it. See if we can hear a whistle.
You hear one?
Yeah, now after McMichael gets up off the ground, they blow the whistle. He was running with the ball.
It's a loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15. The pitch. Brinkley hits the hole hard. And he's banged down at the 26-yard line. 3-yard gain for Curtis Brinkley.
That's twice, though, in this ball game that the Titans have been able to get pressure on Rivers and cause him to fumble as he quickly picks up the blitzing linebacker but can't hang on to the ball.
Will Witherspoon injured on that play for Tennessee, so we'll step aside here in the 3rd. It's been incredible beach weather here in the San Diego area. Will Witherspoon got up on his own, is now trying to run it off along the Tennessee sideline. Brown was banged up on the previous play, but he stayed in there. This is a 3rd and 12. Rivers dialing up the deep ball, sideline, incomplete. Meacham with a flag thrown. Alteron Werner, the coverage for the Titans.
Yeah, they're going to pick this flag up. That ball is uncatchable. The officials are getting together here, and they're not going to call pass interference. Ball was thrown out of bounds.
Pass was uncatchable. There is no flag on the play.
Bruce Hermanson confirming your viewpoint here from the booth.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a bump there, but you can see that that ball 7 to 8 feet out of bounds, so clearly no pass interference on Werner.
4th down, Mike Cypress, averaging 51 yards per kick. Renaud moves forward at the 30, cut down right away. Officially down at the 31-yard line as Dante Rosario makes the play on special teams, a 44-yard punt. Tennessee down by 14. Retired jerseys by the Chargers. One, Dan Fouts, number 14, retired in 1988. 43,000 passing yards. Lance Allworth, number 19, retired in 2005. Allworth, franchise record in receiving yards. And then earlier today, they unveiled number 55, Junior Seau. The reaction from this crowd, overwhelming. It meant so much to this franchise, so much to the community. And how about that from Antonio Garay?
That is amazing.
Incredible.
Two great Chargers. Would have loved to have played with either of them. Lance Allworth, the first AFL member to be voted into the Hall of Fame.
Locker under pressure, gets rid of it to Kenny Britt. Britt gets his first catch of the day out across the 35-yard line as Locker took a hit from Sean Phillips. 5-yard gain.
And Donald Butler is kicking himself because he had a shot at the interception here. And that would have been ironic for Locker, who such a good friends with Butler. They played softball together, as you talked about, in the first half. In fact, Butler hit the longest home run that Jake Locker has ever seen in a slow pitch softball game.
In Ferndale softball history. He said, I'm not sure what his average was because it wasn't very good, but when he connected, it went a mile. 2nd and 5. Locker, pocket holds up initially. Now Locker bouncing to the outside. Locker setting up the deep ball, and he's got his man too far. Taylor Thompson, the rookie tight end out of SMU.
Yeah, what the rookie tight end from SMU did is he stopped, so Locker really couldn't judge how far to throw this ball. And so when Thompson saw the ball in the air, he decides he's going to back up and run backwards after this one. Watch him get behind the secondary, waving for the quarterback, but he right here is where he's in trouble, trying to back up, backpedal to make that catch, and Locker overthrows him. That could have been a disaster for San Diego.
You know what, Dan? Taylor Thompson was a defensive end in college. This is all very new to him. Locker on a throw. Connects with Nate Washington, and boy, very close to a first down, but it does not appear like he got it. Tried to extend that arm at the end of the play. Sean Phillips, who continues to make plays for this San Diego defense. It's 4th down.
Making plays, rushing the quarterback, and that time dropping into coverage, working with Anton Kaysen to keep the receiver from picking up a first down. Washington got within a yard, but he couldn't get away from those two Chargers.
Phillips now in his 9th year with the Chargers. 4th straight 3-and-out for Tennessee. Kern on a punt for Spurlock. Fair catch. Brought in at the 12-yard line. San Diego will be at its own 12 when we come back here in the 3rd. Nice of the crew to film me surfing yesterday. San Diego with a 17-3 lead on Tennessee.
Hey, you're hanging 4 there.
Yeah. Ball at the Charger 12-yard line. Here's Brinkley taking it to the outside, and the penalty marker down. Michael Griffin with that stop. 6-yard gain. Is it coming back? And that's what it appears to be as San Diego is retreating.
Holding. Offense number 79. 10-yard penalty. Half the distance. Let's go first down.
And it's Mike Harris, second one against the rookie out of UCLA. Hey, it's not too late to play NFL.com fantasy football. Sign up today for the official fantasy game of the NFL at NFL.com/fantasy.
On that play, it looked like Brinkley was supposed to hit up inside. He didn't see anything there, so he jumped to the outside. Harris, expecting him inside, reached out and held the defensive end Wembley.
Handoff, McClain busting through the middle, and McClain steamrolls his way across the 20. So they caught Tennessee napping a bit. McClain had not been in the game plan, at least so far. Very capable ball carrier, two-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, it's a quick hitter, and normally the Chargers like to run the I formation and give it to the tailback, but this time they give it to the up-back, McClain, and it's a huge hole. That's a good play call by Norv Turner because it changed up the tempo of the running game and got the Chargers one of their best running plays of the entire season.
Tyron
17
Green
yards on that eye.
And Nick Hardwick up front, Dan, creating some space for McClain, the former Raven in chief. Fake the handoff. Brinkley, the catch and run. Curtis Brinkley is spun down along the sideline, just short of the 35. That covers 11 yards. And a first down. Zach Brown on the chase down.
And again, it's a good play call by Turner because he isolated the back Brinkley on the injured Witherspoon. Witherspoon now heads to the sidelines. Brinkley did a nice job of hanging on to that ball too as Witherspoon from behind tried to knock it out of his grasp.
Playing without Colin McCarthy, talented second-year player out of Miami, out with an ankle injury. So they've shifted around the linebackers with Witherspoon starting in the middle. On first down, they'll try McClain again. This time runs into a crowd right up the gut for 2.5 yards. And this is something you and I talked about in recent years, that San Diego did not have a natural fullback, a blocking fullback, and it's something that they did address during this offseason.
They addressed it in a big way. 260 pounds of LeRon McClain, and he's versatile. Obviously, we've seen him as a lead blocker, and that will get better for the running attack once Ryan Matthews gets back, but he's capable of carrying the ball and as a receiver out of the backfield.
He's a bulldozer. 902 yards rushing for Baltimore back in 2008 and 10 touchdowns. A hybrid who can be a guy that carries the ball in excess of 15 times a game. Rivers under duress. Great find. It's Malcolm Floyd, a soft spot in that Tennessee defense. And they're into Titans territory at the 42. Rivers took another hit from Wembley, but he got rid of it on time for 22 yards.
Well, because of the speed of Floyd, watch how deep the safety goes, and that allows Floyd to get to the inside here. And of course, it takes quite a while and good pass protection for this all to develop. But the confidence that Rivers has in Floyd just can't be measured.
Phillip Rivers still developing chemistry with the new receivers. He said he and Floyd, they've been clicking for years. On first down, Rivers now 192 yards through the air. Out of the pocket, Rivers has some room in front of him. Rivers ducks out of bounds at the 33-yard line. They'll give him a gain of 9 on the play.
Now this is Rivers with a 9-yard gain, and this is regular speed too. That's not slow motion. He is flat out right there and gets out of bounds.
Phillip Rivers now in his 9th year in the NFL. That's hard to believe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to apologize too because he's a lot faster than I ever was.
Do we want to roll back the tape?
Not really. I was just having fun with the young Rivers.
Now 30 years old, the number 4 pick back in 2004. This is a 2nd and 1 now for the Chargers. On the give for Brinkley, and he's got a first down. So they'll move the chains to the 31-yard line, picks up 2 yards. We are under 5 minutes to play now in the third quarter, and a good drive here from San Diego. Mike Munchak's defense, which played so well in the second quarter, giving up some chunk plays here in the third.
And it is hot down on that field. You said it was about 85 at kickoff. I guarantee you it's warmer than that now, and there's absolutely no wind down on that field. So you can see the Titans starting to wear down a little bit on defense.
We had record temperatures here in San Diego the last 2 days. Triple digits, over 100 degrees. Topping off at 105, 106 in certain areas. Rivers avoids the pressure. Hits Floyd with a bullet. First down to the 15-yard line.
Well, Floyd is having a field day just working against the zone coverages now. 5 catches for 90 yards for Floyd. And how many times have we seen this deep in cut? Safety's playing deep because they have to respect his speed. And they know Rivers is always looking for him to be flying down the sidelines.
His brother Malcolm actually played for the Oilers back in the 90s. Same name, different spelling. Rivers over the middle, touchdown! Number 3 for Dante Rosario. The chemistry has been on display. Rivers and the tight end. Chargers add to their lead.
Well, the Chargers have found that Will Witherspoon is playing on one leg. Watch him right here as Rosario goes right down the field. Witherspoon, who's got responsibility on the tight end here, sees it late after the play action and just can't get back there. Good play action fake led that 88-yard drive in just 8 plays and 3 touchdowns for Rosario. He's only got 3 catches all season, all for touchdowns.
Maintaining the extra point. San Diego up 24-3 on Tennessee. Philip Rivers pushing the right buttons with Norv Turner calling the plays. And it's been Rosario 3 times. Minutes. And San Diego with a 24-3 lead, 3:29 to go in the third. Third touchdown for Rivers and Rosario here today. Caden kicking off. And Hawkins is deep for Tennessee. Hawkins to the outside. Hawkins into San Diego territory. He'll be dragged down from behind inside the 35 by Corey Lynch. Terrific return by Lavelle Hawkins, the 5th-year pro out of Cal.
Yeah, bad coverage by San Diego. Great blocking by the Titans as Hawkins went up the middle, then cut to the outside. And that's exactly what the Titans need after that 71-yard return. Something positive to happen, give them good field position, and see if they can answer that touchdown of the Chargers.
So a shot in the arm here potentially for Tennessee as Locker takes over a 1st and 10. We'll call it the 32. Locker. High throw is handled by Jared Cook. Cook has terrific hands, hit by Bigby, JB, and Dan Marino. NFL Today update.
Seattle putting it on the Cowboys.
Marshawn Lynch here, 3-yard touchdown on the day. He has 21 attempts, 109 yards. Seattle up 27-7, jumping all over Dallas.
That they are. Let's take it back out to San Diego. Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts.
And that's why it's so tough week to week to form opinions in this league as Chris Johnson gets hit. Oh, and there's an issue here. Butler getting into it with David Stewart after the play. 4-yard gain for Johnson on the ground.
That was a good run by Johnson, too. It showed the flash that we're so used to seeing. As he makes the guy miss right there. Jammer. Remember, Jammer playing with a cast on his right hand. Could not make that tackle in the backfield.
2nd and 6 now. Locker from the gun. Locker throws. Catch made by Wright. Works his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. The young guns, Locker and Wright. The rookie out of Baylor.
First touchdown of his NFL career after the great kickoff return by Hawkins. But Kaysen playing way too deep. That's an easy touchdown for Wright as he caught the ball at about the 5-yard line. That's quickly answering the Charger touchdown with a 71-yard kickoff return and then 3 plays, 32 yards and a touchdown.
All-time leading receiver at Baylor, Kendall Wright, with his first NFL touchdown. And the extra point coming here for Rob Baronis. 24-10. Tennessee trying to climb back into it here in the second half from Qualcomm Stadium. More to come, the NFL on CBS. Chris Palmer, offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. Titans now trail 24-10 with 2:20 to go in this third quarter.
Chris Palmer told me a little bit about Wright on the phone this week when I talked to him. He said, you know, he's caught so many balls at Baylor, so experienced because of his time with RG3. He looks like a fast guy, but he's really a lot quicker than he is fast. And you saw the quickness there as after he caught the ball, he quickly turned up the field and got in the end zone.
Actually played basketball as freshman here at Baylor, showing off his athleticism. Number 20 pick overall and a high school quarterback. Barones kicks it off. Richard Goodman waiting for it. And this one is going to soar right through the back of the end zone. Chargers will have it at the 20-yard line. In the battle for Las Vegas, only one man can win. Dennis Quaid and Michael Chiklis star in Vegas, premiering Tuesday, September 25th, only CBS. So some signs of life from this Tennessee offense, all set up by the Hawkins return. .220 left, third quarter. San Diego with 272 total yards. Tennessee has been limited to 142. Time of possession is double. Rivers off play action. It's Brinkley with a zigzag move forced out of bounds. Let's get an NFL Today update. JB and Dan in New York.
Back and forth, Iron Eagle.
And Sam Bradford, a little play action here on the goal line, back in the end zone. Give him a mulligan. Matthew Mulligan, 1-yard touchdown. St. Louis up 31-28.
Sam Bradford, 24-32, 289 yards, 3 touches, and a pick. Dan Fouts, a shootout taking place. Back to Ian and Dan.
There's nothing wrong with that, JB. We kind of like that around these parts.
And St. Louis kind of likes it if they can get a win. They need it with Jeff Fisher taking over and Bradford looking for a jolt of confidence. Brinkley working down low and just short of the marker. Needed 2, picked up 1. Witherspoon on the tackle for Tennessee.
Rivers is doing a great job of spreading the ball around this afternoon. He's got 20 completions, 7 to his running backs, 7 to his wide receivers, and 6 to his tight ends.
And now facing a 3rd and 1, they bring in Jackie Battle, the former Kansas City Chief running back. We're down to 1:15 to go in the 3rd. Battle gets the call, and he's got a first down and then some. Good spin move by Battle. Big running back, 6'2", 240, and he covers 10 yards on the burst.
Yeah, the last drive, Rivers was a perfect 4 for 4 for 64 yards. Earlier in the game, he found Rosario for the first touchdown. Sounds like a broken record here. Back at the end zone, and then the final catch for Rosario on that drive. The pride of Dayton, Oregon, and the University of Oregon.
Dante Rosario. It's bounced around with Carolina, Miami, and Denver. Blocked a punt last week, so he helped San Diego get a win over Oakland. Now helping on offense. Handoff for Brinkley. And Brinkley coughs up the football out of bounds. It took a bounce right towards the sideline. Griffin and Witherspoon there to hold him to no gain on the play.
Yeah, good team defense by the Titans. Griffin comes over as Brinkley was spinning back to the inside.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. San Diego up 24-10 on Tennessee. We'll come back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. We start the 4th quarter here at Qualcomm Stadium. San Diego 24, Tennessee 10. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. Titans 3-9 on the West Coast since 1999. And they trail by 2 touchdowns. San Diego has the football with a 2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line. Brinkley releases out of the backfield. Rivers 231 yards through the air and 3 touchdowns. Rivers, quick pass over the middle. He's got McMichael. McMichael spins his way for a first down as the tight ends continue to burn this Tennessee defense. He drags Griffin and Zach Brown with him.
Yeah, this isn't McMichael's first rodeo. He's got over 420 career receptions. He looked a lot like Gates on this play as he ran a wheel route on airs and then uses his strength at 250 pounds to drag tacklers to midfield and the first down. That's a heck of a play by McMichael.
Ayers a little bit slow getting up. McMichael now in his 11th year, a 4th-round pick back in 2002. Up the middle for Battle. And he leans forward for a 4-yard pickup.
I think it's a good use of Battle now as the Chargers obviously want to work on the clock, but he just has so much more power than Brinkley. And when he goes forward like that, that's 2 carries now for Battle. And he's gotten positive yardage each time, something Brinkley and Ronnie Brown haven't been able to do each time.
Battle was the Chiefs' leading rusher last season. Signed as a free agent by San Diego. We're just underway here in the 4th. Chargers in Tennessee territory. Rivers short drop. Quick hitter. Malcolm Floyd. Floyd spilled out across the 30-yard line. And Floyd goes over 100 yards receiving now as that pass play covers 19.
Titans were confused on this play. At first they're late covering LaRon McClain, and now on the slant route to Floyd, he gets inside and there's no inside help. Rivers doing a good job of reading the coverage, but he might have missed one, not getting the ball out to the uncovered McClain.
6 for 109 for the veteran receiver Malcolm Floyd. Battle back in there, play clock winding down. Battle, penalty flag is thrown, and Battle is stood up at the 24-yard line after the gain of 3. Marker thrown at the 27.
Now we saw Rivers do this in the first half, use his voice inflection to draw the Titans off sides. And I think he may have just done the same thing there on first down.
Neutral zone infraction. It is defense number 93. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS rolls out doubleheader action. The Chiefs challenge the Saints. The Bengals take on RG3 and the Redskins. Then the Texans tangle with the Broncos. The Steelers meeting the Raiders. It all starts with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines at noon Eastern next Sunday. The NFL on CBS. So a 1st and 5 now for San Diego. 8 penalties called against Tennessee here this afternoon. McClain and Battle in the backfield with Michael the motion man. Battle, big hole. Jackie Battle keeps the legs churning, and Battle is finally whistled down inside the 10. What a push up front. Green, Vasquez, Clary, all getting it done for a 15-yard rip.
Just a classic I formation blast play. Watch the blocking here. The lead block by McClain. And here's the hole as Tyrone Green comes over with a beautiful block. They never did get Battle to the ground. The whistle got him to the ground, but the Titans certainly didn't.
1st and goal for San Diego. And it looks like the Chargers have discovered their running back in the absence of Ryan Matthews. That's a lot of beef between McClain and Battle. The cut. And Battle hit hard. He got hammered. Hakeem Ayers with the smack. 1-yard gain.
Looking for the cutback, and he got cut back right. Ayers with a big hit.
Scott Solomon, part of the defensive rotation on that line as well. Rookie out of Rice. 10th play of the drive. Ball spotted at the 6-yard line. San Diego very successful in the red zone here today. Rosario set up in the slot. 3 touchdowns today. Rivers looking, throws underneath. He's got Ronnie Brown extending the arms. Touchdown, Chargers. San Diego has put up 30 points. The Chargers in their home opener with a big day on offense.
Yeah, great effort by Brown as he splits the defenders to get into the end zone. Cody Sensabaugh, the cornerback, can't keep him out. Watch as he goes low here before the linebacker can come over, Zach Brown. So a couple of rookies couldn't keep the veteran. out of the end zone.
Sensabaugh, the rookie out of Clemson. Brown, the rookie out of North Carolina. Ronnie Brown, the veteran out of Auburn. All scores are reviewed. So they're going to take a look at this, see whether or not Ronnie Brown was down before he crossed the plane. Right now it's 30-10 San Diego. Well, the call on the field, a touchdown. Every score is reviewed, and there was a question as to whether or not Ronnie Brown got in cleanly before he was brought down.
Good catch, first of all, and then extending the ball over the goal line before his knee touched down. So that is a touchdown.
Well, not officially, and Ronnie Brown wants to hear the official word to get his first San Diego Charger touchdown. That would be Philip Rivers' 4th touchdown of the day through the air. And it took a while underneath that hood, which leads you to believe that they're going to reverse this thing. Let's see. Short.
After further review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The ball carrier's arm was on the ground prior to the ball breaking the goal line. It will be 3rd and goal at the half-yard line.
So no touchdown for Rivers, no touchdown for Ronnie Brown. And it's 3rd and goal inside the 1 for San Diego.
Well, I got a feeling that Jackie Battle may get the call here on this 3rd down and inches. But Brown's arm ruled down before he extended the ball across the goal line. That's real close. His right arm was down. The ball was in his left hand. That's a good call by the officials. A great job by our camera crew.
Battle in the backfield on 3rd and goal. Handoff. Battle going over the top for the touchdown. Jackie Battle goes airborne. The Chargers an extra point away from 31 points on the day. 11 plays, 80 yards for Norv Turner's team.
Battle did not even carry the ball one time in the Monday night game up against the Raiders. He's making up for lost time today. 5 carries, 31 yards, and an airborne touchdown.
Nate Kading on, extra point for San Diego. And with 10:33 to play in the 4th quarter, it's all Chargers right now, 31-10. Chargers try to improve to 2-0. They're getting it done against Tennessee. Back here in San Diego, for those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, the game between the Titans and the Chargers. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. 60 Minutes will be seen immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. Lavelle Hawkins, the return man. Hawkins trying to get to the outside, and he is brought down short of the 20-yard line by Bigby on special teams. San Diego looking for its 9th win in a row against the Tennessee Titans. Last meeting was October of 2010, where Rivers went for 305 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and a 33-25 victory. Chris Johnson in that game had 142 yards rushing and a touchdown. That was actually the 09 game where Johnson had one of his big runs. And you will see Damian Williams, that pass offline, and Antoine Cason with the stick. But Johnson today limited to 15 yards on 7 carries. They got down early, and whatever the game plan may have been to run the football was definitely affected.
Yep, 2 weeks in a row that's happened to them. New England jumped out on top last week, and that limited the play selection to passing for Jake Locker and the Titans.
On 2nd down. Caught by Cook, Jared Cook. Everybody raved about his abilities. Head coach, quarterback, both quarterbacks in fact. But it's not like Cook puts up these huge numbers. You figured he would be more involved in the passing game. It's 3 catches for 22 yards for Cook.
And his average per reception is a lot bigger than that. In fact, he leads the NFL tight ends in average per catch.
Third down, looking to feed Cook, and it's incomplete. So Locker is now under 50% throwing the football. He's 13 of 27. Tennessee is 1 of 9 on third downs. Compare that to San Diego, who's 8 of 14. Locker has been limited to 110 yards through the air, a touchdown and a pick with Matt Hasselbeck, his backup, and a guy who has seen it all in this league, and he's trying to be an encouraging teammate. He's been very loyal and very reassuring to Locker. Locker has said that Hasselbeck has been just immense in his development. Phillip Rivers, chance to add to his numbers when we continue with fourth quarter action. The San Diego Chargers up on Tennessee. Tennessee Titans trailing 31-10. They gave up 390 yards of offense to New England last week. They've given up 347 yards of offense to San Diego. And we still have 9:42 to go in the fourth quarter here today. Fake the handoff. Rivers set up the screen. Rosario. Dante Rosario. Out near midfield, that's 17 yards on the catch and run for the backup tight end.
Really a creative play as they're going to fake the screen to this side and then throw it over here to Rosario. Watch after the play fake. Brinkley is going to go out on the screen to the left side of our screen, and then there's no Titan anywhere near Rosario. And big Tyrone Green out in front.
And these tight ends continue to get it done. Rosario, McMichael, Ladarius Green getting in on the act earlier as well.
And this will all help Antonio Gates get healthy in a hurry.
Oh, yeah? You think the two are connected?
At times.
Jackie Battle moving the pile and into Tennessee territory. It's a 4-yard gain as Griffin and Dawson combine to bring him down. No Antonio Gates, out with a rib injury. You had a chance to see Gates and the Chargers in person last week on Monday night, and you thought there were a few times where it looked like he was affected by the ribs.
Well, he had to stretch for a couple of balls, and whenever you expose your ribs after they've been bruised or whatever, it's going to affect you. The ball went off his hands a couple of times.
Antonio Gates, one of the great tight ends in football history, 8-time Pro Bowler, dealt with plantar fasciitis last year. Up the middle, Brinkley with a blast to the 40. First down, San Diego.
What we're seeing is like a little thunder and lightning now. Battle being the thunder and the quickness of Brinkley there. Same play, different type of running back running it. But also what we're seeing today for San Diego is guys stepping up, filling the void. Malcolm Floyd taking over the spot for Vincent Jackson, who's now with Tampa Bay. And as you talked about, Ian, the tight ends filling the void for Antonio Gates being out.
And the same at running back with Ryan Matthews out as well.
Yep.
They just didn't know who would be the guy to step forward, and it's been mostly Battle in this second half. New set of downs for the Chargers to work with. Battle picked a spot, fought his way through it for a 3-yard gain. Well, for Tennessee, up next, a home game against Detroit next week. So the Titans with a tough schedule to open up the season. Went 9-7 last year, surprised some people. Hasselbeck started last year. Locker filled in occasionally. Got the most action that he saw in Atlanta when Hasselbeck went down with an injury. And this is what's coming up at Houston after that to wrap up the month. Matt Hasselbeck now in his 14th year in the league. Really held down the fort last year. Brinkley up the middle for 5 yards. They've had 4 different starting quarterbacks for Tennessee on opening day each of the last 4 years, between Young and Collins and Hasselbeck and now Jake Locker. You take a player like Locker as high as they did, they felt like the competition was close. They said, let's go with the young guy. And now they're 2 games in, and they're going to be 0-2 after today.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with the fact they can't run the ball at all. And when you can't run the ball, then you're putting pressure on a quarterback that doesn't have a whole lot of experience. Then you look at the injuries that they've had at wide receiver, the suspension with Britt. A lot of problems so far to start the season for Tennessee.
3rd and 2 now for San Diego. Battle. Jackie Battle just running people over here. 8-yard gain for Battle.
There may not be a better name for a running back than the Battle, because that's exactly what he does every time he carries the ball. He won that battle on the defensive back.
8 carries, 46 yards, and a touchdown for Battle. Now in his 5th year from Houston, out of Humble, Texas.
Humble. The H is silent, my friend.
Ari. The S is silent. Humble, Texas.
Thank you.
I'll mark that one down in my head. Write it phonetically next time. Jackie Battle out of Humble, Texas for 4 yards.
He said with humility.
Or humility. It'll be 2nd and 6 now for the Chargers. So Battle will get a breather along the sideline.
Yeah, the Chargers really played poorly in that second quarter, and I'm sure that the coaching staff got after them pretty good at halftime, because it's been a different ball club in the second half. They totally dominated both sides of the ball, and defensively I think they need a lot of credit too, as well as the job Rivers has done leading this offense.
They're about to crack 400 yards of offense. It's Brinkley. And just about everybody involved on that defensive line for Tennessee, as Brinkley lost his helmet on the play, a 1-yard gain. So 3rd down now for San Diego. We're coming up on 4 minutes to go for Mike Munchak. You know, one of the things he pointed out, and he said to his team, look, things change so quickly in this league. Take the Thursday night game as an example, Chicago and Green Bay. Everybody was ready to throw a parade for the Bears after week 1, and there was concern in Green Bay. Come out of that, and it's the Bears now questioning their leadership, their quarterback. The Packers felt really good about their defensive performance, so that was a perfect example. But Tennessee was unable to change last week's result. Jackie Battle banging his way inside and carrying Robert Johnson with him in the process for 16 yards.
And what this may do for San Diego and their plans for Ryan Matthews, they may be able to give Matthews another week off and make sure his clavicle is totally healed. Because this performance here in the second half for Jackie Battle, opening a lot of eyes, and the offensive line opening a lot of big holes for Battle and Brinkley.
10 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown for Battle as San Diego goes over 400 yards of total offense. Extra offensive lineman, 1st and goal here for the Chargers. Battle just keeps moving on the play, thrusting his body for a 2-yard gain. Scott Solomon in on that stop for Tennessee.
Yeah, this is a good combination for short yardage and goal line for San Diego. You got the 260-pound fullback McClain, and Battle goes about 240. So you get them in behind that offensive line.
That's 500 pounds, Dan, if you want to combine them.
Well, that is. There you go, doing math on me again.
I was told there would be no math.
I'm good on the oral part of the test.
2nd and goal. Battle caught from behind as Michael Griffin shot through to make the play, along with Solomon, a loss of 2. And this clock is going to roll down to the 2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. Norv Turner's team comfortably in front, leading Tennessee 31-10. They'll have a 3rd and goal when we come back to Qualcomm Stadium, the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. There'll be plenty of question marks this week in Nashville after Tennessee's performance here in San Diego. Titans will drop to 0-2. They trail the Chargers 31-10 with 2 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Being a young quarterback in this league, never easy. And Jake Locker is learning that in his 2nd year in the NFL, 1st year as a starter. 3rd and goal. Battle. And the gang tackle mentality for Tennessee works out to make sure Battle doesn't take it to the end zone.
Yeah, because of the effectiveness of Battle and Brinkley on this drive, the Chargers will be able to keep the ball on the ground and keep the clock running. It's just a perfect way to finish off a ball game offensively.
Now 4th down. A minute and a half to play. Battle with 68 yards on the ground and a touchdown. And they'll go for it here on 4th down. Rivers give to Battle. Battle powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown, San Diego. Second one of the day for Jackie Battle.
And he takes the low road this time after going up high to pick up his first touchdown. Got in behind the left side, Tyrone Green and the rookie Mike Harris. And also on that side, they brought in the rookie David Molk, who's a center, had him at tight end. So a lot of bulk on that side, and Battle adds to it.
So Rivers to Rosario, that was the connection that paid off to start. And Battle has been the closer for San Diego. That drive took over 8 minutes. 13 plays, 69 yards, 12 straight runs to extinguish the clock and put away the Titans here in the 4th. 38-10, San Diego leading Tennessee, and coming up tonight on CBS, it all begins with 60 Minutes and NFL super agent Drew Rosenhaus, followed by a new Big Brother, The Good Wife, and The Mentalist, only CBS. Chargers kick off with Nate Kading. Lavelle Hawkins is going to take it on the run from the 2. And Hawkins hit hard as he crossed the 20-yard line.
A lot of contribution on the offense for the Chargers today. Malcolm Floyd led all receivers, 6 catches for 109 yards. How about Curtis Brinkley, 66 yards of total offense. And the story in the second half has to be Jackie Battle with a couple of touchdowns and 66 yards on the ground. First half belonged to Dante Rosario with a couple of touchdown catches. In fact, of his 4 today, 3 have ended in the end zone.
And San Diego did a terrific job in the red zone this week, something that they did not do against Oakland despite getting the win. Here's Locker to throw, offline. He was trying to hit Kendall Wright. Last year, Tennessee lost in week 1 to Jacksonville, but they bounced back with a 26-13 win over Baltimore in week 2. Ended up finishing the season at 9-7, didn't make the playoffs because of a tiebreak, losing out to Cincinnati. Mike Munchak, successful first year as a head coach in the NFL, Pro Football Hall of Famer himself. This year they lose to New England in week 1, but fly all the way out to San Diego hoping to recover, and it's gone the other way on them. Locker on the move, and he hits Damian Williams. That's when Locker looks like he's really comfortable out of the pocket and throwing on the run.
Yeah, he does it extremely well, and he runs away from people. He's faster than you think. That time Corey Liuget was chasing him down from behind and had to make a desperation dive and couldn't come close.
Down to 35 seconds left. Hand off to Chris Johnson. And Johnson is hit. Could not get past to Mario Williams, the veteran linebacker. So limited to a 2-yard gain. Final 20 seconds now.
And questions about the running attack. Jake Locker, leading rusher for the Titans. 2 carries, 21 yards. Chris Johnson continues to struggle. 8 carries, just 17 yards.
Locker over the middle. And gets the long completion to Craig Stevens. And that's how this game will end. The San Diego Chargers are 2-0 for the first time since 2006 as they defeat the Tennessee Titans 38-10, the final. For Dan Fouts, the rest of our crew, this is Ian Eagle. So long from San Diego. This is the NFL on CBS as we head to New York and send it over to James Brown.